be so similar between two drastically different worlds? Let me tell you a story. I am a daughter of two successful doctors, my dad being a pediatrician, meaning he's a children's doctor, and my mom being an ophthalmologist, meaning she's an eye doctor. And their work has always been a source of fascination to me ever since I was young. And it's expected, and normal even, for me to turn out to be a doctor as well. However, as part of our school curriculum, back when I was in high school, we were required to pick a subject of our own choice. And I went for robotics, since it was something that I've never ever tried before. Now, during our robotics course, we were required to create certain projects and prototypes. And I vividly remember one project my group and I created, which we called the Qarura project. Now, the Qarura project, Qarura meaning bottle in Arabic, consisted of 4 individuals, and it aimed to ease the process for water delivery companies, since they are heavily relied on here in Jordan, where the sensor in the smart water bottle would send a signal to a microcontroller, in which then the microcontroller would send a message to the water delivery company that this certain household is in need for more water. Little did we know, the Qarura project was actually a huge success, since we got the chance to pitch it at various events and workshops. One of these events being the World Science Forum of 2017. And in another event, a representative from a well-known institution here in Jordan came up to us and asked us a little more about our project. And then she introduced us to this program called Tech Girls. Now, Tech Girls is an international summer exchange program where all accepted female applicants from all across the MENA region get the chance to participate in a technology camp in the US. Now, I didn't really think much of it until 2 days before the deadline, because clearly I am the best at time management. Apparently, so am I at sarcasm. And it was indeed hectic, since I had to answer 5 essay questions in one night. However, I did, at the end, manage to submit my application exactly 43 minutes before the deadline. But the hassle was indeed all worth it, since I got the chance to meet 27 innovative and creative females from all across the MENA region, since I was one of the 4 chosen delegates to represent Jordan in the program. Now, during our stay in the US, we visited prominent tech companies such as Google. As you can tell, I was quite excited about our visit to Google. And we also participated in various discussion panels, leadership clinics, and even community and service activities. And we learned more about programming and the importance of STEM fields in our daily life. And by STEM, I mean science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, not stem cells, although it probably would have made me look a lot cooler. And this is when I realized that medicine wasn't what I wanted to pursue anymore. But instead, I became infatuated with fields such as computer science, for example. And here I am, quite an anxious software engineering student, figuring out their way through their freshman year in university. Thank you. Now, post-Tech Girls, my fellow Tech Girls and I decided to conduct various outreach sessions for females ages 15 to 17. And females from all across the nation would join us to know more about our experience in the program and the importance of females in STEM fields. And this is how we built a constantly expanding community of career-driven females from all across the nation. Now, when I'm not in a coffee shop coding for many, many hours, you will indeed find me on the rugby pitch with my team. To give you a little backstory, I was introduced to one of the most important things in my life right now, which is rugby, or as I'd like to call it, the cherry on top of my year. Now, to give you a little synopsis about what rugby actually is about, although I don't like to use this comparison very often, however, rugby is quite close to a sport like American football, just without the extra protection, I guess. Now, the Citadel Rugby Queens was the first female rugby team founded in Jordan, and it was founded in November of 2017. We first started out with touch rugby, which is very similar to actual rugby. However, it eliminates full physical contact. And in the midst of 2018, we started with our contact rugby journey. And it was a feeling that I've never felt before, because I was always into individual sports, and rugby was the first team sport that I ever got attached to. And the bond between my female teammates and I was such a unique connection, because trust is such an important asset of rugby. And then, what was quite fortunate about women's rugby here in Jordan was the fact that it followed quite a domino effect, since in less than a year, we had 3 female rugby teams in Jordan, where all the females involved were very keen to play and know more about the sport. And then we had our first contact game. And this is when our rugby career actually started, because we were then asked to represent Jordan in our first international tournament, which was the West Asia Rugby Sevens Women's Championship. Quite a tongue twister, if you ask me. And it was held in Qatar in April of 2019. We unfortunately didn't get placed as top 3. However, we did indeed give a spectacular performance, as we even managed to score 4 tries in the tournament. Tries meaning scores in rugby. And after that, I was featured on the World Rugby website. And after that, I was chosen by the Jordan Rugby Union to attend the opening ceremony of the Rugby World Cup in September of 2019, which was actually held in Japan, by the way. And this was the first Rugby World Cup ever held in an Asian country. Now, not in a million years did I ever think I would even get close to Japan. And not only did I get the chance to see my favorite rugby players play meters away from me, but I also met young rugby players from all around Asia. And this is when I realized that we, the youth, have the same drive and passion towards this amazing sport. And with another cherry on top, the Citadel Rugby Queens participated in one of the greatest annual rugby events in December of 2019, which is Dubai Sevens. And this was actually a huge deal, because this was the first participation for Jordanian women in Dubai Sevens. Now, you might be wondering, why would I bring up 2 drastically different worlds in one talk? I mean, what could be so similar between rugby and STEM? There's absolutely no way both these fields can actually intertwine. However, this is actually wrong, in this situation at least. And that's because what makes rugby and STEM quite similar is females. When it comes to STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics fields are generally known for being male-dominated. However, with programs such as Tech Girls, for example, we get the chance to increase the number of females in STEM and expand this beautiful community, not only in Jordan, but across the region as well. And on the other hand, when it comes to rugby, a slightly physical sport that isn't quite favored for females, where we started with around 12 to 15 female rugby players in the beginning of 2018, and now we're around 50 female rugby players, and our number keeps on increasing on a daily. So when you think about it, it's actually quite fascinating how females here in Jordan were actually able to do this. I mean, it would take international organizations years to be able to accomplish what Jordanian females were able to achieve. I guess you can say that the best of both worlds is resilient, passionate, goal-driven, and fierce females that are so eager to contribute towards this great transformation. So remember to code like a girl, run like a girl, tackle like a girl, and achieve like a girl. Thank you.